I love it. Y'all are just like instantly silent. I was like, did I hit? Yep, it's exactly 6:01 right now. That is, I wish I had like treats or something for you. Oh wait, we have an owning. So feels like little. Are we good? I was waiting for Michael to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody. That's your cue to say Shabbat Shalom. Nice job. Nice job. I love how some people are like, I'm going to extend that. Because peace should be extended, right? It shouldn't just be shalom, but shalom, everybody. So shalom. I am Rabbi Rachel Jackson, in case we haven't met. Joined on the Bima today with soloist Laurie Simmons, and over there where you can't really see him is Jay Adler, who's going to also add a little bit of music. He usually has a different hat than that one. So as we're sort of winding down the week, trying to be here, this is the perfect time to do announcements so that by the time we get to the end of the service, we can maintain that sense of that we have, as well as for you to completely forget everything that I'm about to say. So I will say, at least just check the website for anything that I will say, and check your emails and all that stuff. Tomorrow morning, we have a B'nai Mitzvah, Lina, and actually, here's a fun Hebrew word. You might not know this. Bar is masculine, bat is feminine, B'nai is masculine plural, and Benot is plural feminine. So tomorrow, Benot, I just forgot to change my slide. Sorry, ladies. Benot Mitzvah of the Sands ladies. That's tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Please join us. We are also, as we have been doing, partnering with OHEV for the Coalition for the Homeless. On Sunday morning at OHEV, we'll be cooking the food. I believe that starts at 8 a.m. And on Monday, we will be over at the Coalition itself to serve the food. If you would like to participate, please sign up. I'm looking around. Helene, there you are. Just raise your hand. Right, there's Helene. You can let her know if you would like to come. We do need a couple more people to participate. You must be over the age of 14 in order to do that. That is their rule, not ours. So I look forward to joining or having everyone participate in that as we can. Sunday morning is also our last day for Beit Midrash. So if you're a part of that, please join us for our last day. And any Beit Midrash families, we are having a Siyum cookout at 11:30. On Monday and Tuesday, we're also doing Baby and Me classes in the morning. Tuesday, we have our book club at 11. Thursday, Torah study at noon. It is online, so you are welcome and easy to join us there. Thursday evening, we also have another session for our intro Hebrew class. Goodness, that's just this week, right? But I also wanted to share with you a couple other Shabbatot that are coming up on May 30th, Camp Shabbat. So anyone that is going to camp, as I look at one of our campers, we're going to do a Camp Shabbat and a camp send-off. That is a day camp or an overnight camp. We are not judging. It is a Jewish camp. It is a regular camp. Whatever camp you go to, we want to celebrate and honor that. On June 6th, we are doing our Sisterhood Board installation featuring the adult choir. So please do join us for that. There is dinner afterward. Please RSVP for that because we like to feed you. And if you don't RSVP, we don't know how much to feed you. So go ahead and do RSVP for that one. And then the final one that I'll share tonight is on June 13th. We are joining with the Jewish community as a whole and celebrating Pride Shabbat here at CRJ on June 13th. Whew, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
A lot going on. Mm-hmm. So we're packing it all in before the extreme heat of the summer hits and y'all don't show up. And I don't blame you, right? It's too much to get out there. But I think we should start with a welcoming here, a piece of gratitude. This comes from page 8 in our Siddur. I know we have a few guests here today. Feel free to use the words that are behind me on the screens. We also use the books if you prefer. Or, as always, you're welcome to use any prayers that are in your hearts. And so this comes from page 8. Feel free to join in. I begin with the prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to make our lives better. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. Let us continue with a nigun, a wordless melody.
And Yai Nai is, I invite you to sing along. Yai Nai 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 Nai, Yai Nai 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 Nai, Yai Nai 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 Nai. We're gonna do that again. Yai Nai 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 Nai, Yai Nai 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 Nai, Yai Nai 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 Nai. The second part. Yai Nai.
How good it is for us to be together, so let us sing about that. Hine Mato, found on page 10.
Hine Matovu Manayim, Sheverachim Gam Yachad. 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 Hine Matovu Manayim, Sheverachim Gam Yachad.
How good it is to be together as community, as family and friends. How wonderful it will be to bring in Shabbat. And to help us with this, I would like to invite up Helena, Troy, and Shauna. Come on up to help us light the candles and bring in Kiddush as well.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Wine symbolizes the power of people to be joyful together. We find grapes in nature, and we grow them in vineyards and squeeze them into juice and ferment the juice into wine. We find ourselves in families, in communities, in friendships, in partnerships, and part of a community. It is our creativity and our efforts that make our lives much sweeter. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, ki vanu Votanu kidashta mikohamim v'shabbat kodecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Chaim, go ahead and turn to somebody, hopefully someone you didn't come with, and greet them with a Shabbat Shalom. I'm remembering, and I'm going to change it up a little bit tonight. Let's take a look above Solos Lori's head, way up there, and give everyone a wave. Hello, hello. You can even blow a kiss or something. As we welcome our sanctuary and expand it beyond not just our walls, but everyone who is in our hearts, even if they are not here in person with us. So our sanctuary is so much bigger than what we see here. And we're so glad that everyone at home joins us as well. We'd like to continue with a song called L'chone Ranana.
It's a newer melody. It's pretty easy to pick up. We're going to sing it a few times. L'chone Ranana l'Adonai, Nariya litzor yishenu. L'chone Ranana l'Adonai, Nariya Yishenu. Nakadma Fana Bitoda Bizmirot Narialo. Nakadma Fana Bitoda Bizmirot Narialo. Lunarana la Adonai Naria Litzor Yishenu. Lunarana la Adonai Naria Litzor Yishenu. Nikadma Fana Bitoda Bizmirot Narialo. Nikadma Fana Bitoda Bizmirot Narialo.
That's just the first time to hear it, and we'll try that again another time. But let us move now to greeting our Sabbath partner, our Shabbat bride with Lecha Dodi. It is found on page 20.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay ay shamor v'sachor b'dibor echad hishmi anu el hamu echad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemu tiferet b'li tekila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay ay likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habaracha meirosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay ay hitoriri kiva orei kum diori uri shirda beiri kavod Adonai alayik nigela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please rise and face the entrance.
Ay ay boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'tzehola tochem unei am segula boi chala Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai lalalai lalalai b'nei Shabbat נקבלה, איי איי איי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי לללי לללי, בני שבת נקבלה.
Let us take our seats. A poem by Rabbi Eisendrath. He tells us, when justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when, to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. And one of those who changes the world, I invite up now Helena to help lead us in our Baruch, which is a traditionally standing prayer, but we recognize that we stand in our hearts or in our bodies, in our spirits. So when we invite someone to rise, it is an invitation, which means you can decline it for whatever reason, and no one's going to question what that reason is. So at this point, we are on page 28. You're invited to rise.
Page 20?
28.
28. Find it.
La 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 la.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
We continue with the Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Let us take our seats as we continue with the Ve'ahavta found on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושנתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Do I go down? Okay.
So that was just a preview of what is to come tomorrow. Selena just jumps right off I was kind of expecting you to jump off the beam at that time. I'm not going to lie, but I appreciate the enthusiasm that you're bringing to all of this, right? We should all bring such enthusiasms to things that we do. And can you imagine when you do something hard, you're just like, yeah, I did it. Like actually physically make the physical motions, how much better you feel when you do that. So I'm picturing so we just finished the Ve'ahavta, this intense love thing. And the next prayer that we do is this Michamocha prayer, where the Israelites are doing a hard thing and they get to the end. And I just imagine when it says Moses and Miriam erupted into song, what that really looks like. Because we kind of look at our Protestant brethren as we sit here and Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. But Micha mocha ba'elim, what if we just gave it our all? So I'm just giving you a permission to maybe just give it your all, and maybe we'll get a little bit more tonight as we celebrate. So thank you for teaching us to do that, Helena, and we look forward to more teachings from you tomorrow. But Micha Mocha celebration is found on page 40 as we continue.
Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai Micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osei feleh Nora tehilot osei feleh Malchutecha ra'u la'anecha Uke'ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ze'eli anu va'amru Ze'eli anu va'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 One more time. Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai.
That was great. That was great. Feel free to join in on this reading. There is something about the congregation praying together as one that makes me feel more alive than on a brisk winter's day. There is something about all of our voices rising together as one, which fills me with a quiet happiness that stays with me long after the singing stops. Why is it that here I can feel separate bodies come together as one and hold on to that perfect unity as long as possible? Why here am I able to reach out effortlessly and touch someone's hand? By doing that, touch heaven. There is something about this place that brings out the best in me, for it brings out the best in all of us. Surely this place is holy, and I did not know it. I give thanks for this new and beautiful finding. It might be new in general, or it might be new this week. What is not new is our Amidah, which begins on page 46. You are invited to rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an shemo b'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor l'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, Morid hatal. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir hasurim, Umekayehem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'geverot, Umido malach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'eman atah hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Let us take our seats. On page 60 is a prayer asking for abundant peace. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol it u'v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
Let us take now a moment of silent prayer, finding that peace in our heart. know where traditions really start? And I think certainly since the mid-1960s, anytime we hear the word tradition, I hope you hear Tevye, the milkman, in your head, right? Right? I mean, the story itself has been around since late 19th century, right? He started writing it in Yiddish, and it took 20 years to write that, by the way, but it really came to life on the Broadway production that we all know and see in our mind's eye when we hear the word tradition, right? He is stuck to tradition. Right? He can't break out of that tradition. But what tradition is he holding on to, and when did it start? Right? The first time anything is done, it's a novelty, right? Ooh, it's unique. It's interesting. Or awful. Don't know which. So you have to do it a second time to figure out, is it interesting, unique, fun, or really bad? Okay, second time. And then the third time you do it, oh, we've done that before. I know this, and now it's a habit. Maybe by 10, it's tradition. This is the way we've always done it. Excuse me. This is the way we've always done it. But when did that happen? When did we actually decide this is what tradition is? Well, there is a tradition of counting. We count days, we count weeks, we just keep counting. And where did that tradition come from? This week's Torah portion. Over 2,500 or 3,000 years ago, maybe even longer ago than that. It says, okay, in the Torah portion, it says, these are the big holidays. We just finished Passover not that long ago, and for some of us, I whisper the dreaded words, high holy days. Oh boy, for some of us in here, we really shake with that term. But I'm already thinking about it, and this week's portion tells us, in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, it shall be a holy thing for you, which is Rosh Hashanah. Okay, thank you for that. And then it also tells us about Passover, and that one should be holy. And then it says, and on the Sabbath, really meaning the second day of Passover. If you want to argue about that, let me know, because they had a really big argument over what that word meant like 1,000 years ago, and no one came up with a decision. So we made the tradition that it means the second day of Passover. So from the second day of Passover, start counting, and keep counting for 49 days, until you get to the holiday of Shavuot. And the holiday of Shavuot, well, it's a beautiful holiday. It's a holiday where the Jews received the Torah. They said, this is ours. We're going to love it and keep it and treasure it. And how are we going to do that? We're going to study all night long and eat dairy. I don't know how many people in here are lactose intolerant. But an entire night in an enclosed space, studying Torah with Jews who are lactose intolerant while eating cheesecake and cheese blintzes and ice cream doesn't always sound like a great time. And yet we do it because that's what we do, because it's tradition, right? It doesn't tell us that in Torah, also have cheesecake. But I encourage you to Google, do Jews eat cheesecake on Shavuot? And you will get a resounding yes from AI, right? And you can go and you're like, well, what? The synagogue I go to, look at that one. What are they doing? Cheesecake or cheese? I kid you not. Please prove me wrong on this, right? Because I'm looking for a synagogue that doesn't do cheese. Because so many of us, not pleasant. Right? There's not enough lactate in the world to help that situation. So it's our tradition to count. And so I want to share with you, you're like, I've never heard of this. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of that counting today. And so what we do when we count this Omer piece, we actually are commanded to count it. Now, luckily, we are in a Reformed congregation, and so commandment has sort of a loosey-goosey feel to it, right? It's a encouragement. Isn't this a nice thing to have? But no lightning is going to strike if you don't do it. But the blessing first. So we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al tzvirat haomer, which translates to, Blessed be you, God, ruler of space and time, who has made us holy through commandments and commanded us to count the Omer. And then you actually have to do the thing, right? So you bless the thing, and then you do the thing. And so today, we then say, okay, today is 34 days, which is 4 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. That's it. You have now counted the Omer for the first time, maybe this year, maybe ever. But you might have noticed that I said 34 days and then also listed it in weeks, because the Torah tells us, you shall count these days. And then it tells us, you should count the weeks between this holiday and this holiday. And we couldn't agree. So we count the days, 34, and we count the weeks, 4 plus 6, okay? We are an interestingly, beautifully specific people here. But why does it matter? Because I want you to think about however old you are, right? Maybe you're quite young in here, and maybe you're less young in here. And I want you to think on your life. Do you think about the years? Do you think about, yep, in 1982, this is what I did? Or perhaps do you think about, I remember the day when we went to the beach and we made a sand castle and a little crab came out and tried to knock it down. And the wave came and it destroyed all of it. And rather than being upset, we set it back up again. I think, gosh, I must have been really young then. I don't know how old I was, but that was a good day. So few of us actually think in years, right? We count our birthdays, the times we go around the sun, in years, but our memories, we count the days. This is the day that matters, May 17th, 2025. That's tomorrow, that's for them, right? That's the day that matters. What is the day that matters to you? And then beyond that, how do you make today matter? How do you make every day matter? So when you're sitting there and you're thinking back in either your mind's eye, or we now all have these, and you can put 1,000,000 photos on these things, and you're looking back, you're like, oh, I remember that day. It was such a great day. If it was something little, how are you counting your days? For all of our days are numbered. So let's number them and count them powerfully and beautifully. So that is my wish for all of us, that we make our days count, even beyond this counting of the Omer, but every day. Can you hear it, Son? May that be so. When we think about our days, perhaps there is a moment when we go, whew, that was a rough day. That was the day that I found out that I was sick. Or that was the day that I found out that I got better. That was the day that I smashed through a glass window and I had to get 10 stitches in my hand. We remember those days too. And if you are in the midst of those days, or someone you care about is, and are in need of a mishaber cholim, a prayer of healing, I want you to think about them, and I want you to say their names or your name aloud at this time. For all the names said aloud and the ones we hold dear in our hearts, let us sing together on 253, Amisha Berach Lecholim.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
May healing come in a time that is near to us, in our days. We continue with the prayer for the U.S. Feel free to join. Every inch of America is sacred, from sea to shining sea. There is much to be done in our time, the sort of hard work on which God smiles, because it is done for the sake of the dignity and well-being of all God's creatures. Together, let us work to preserve and make manifest the values upon which our democracy was founded. The task of all people is to tell governing authorities to fulfill the purpose of bringing about justice, mercy, and peace, individually and as a nation. May we heed our obligations to each other as we navigate the tensions of building a just society. Rather than a politics of divisiveness, may we move our country toward a politics of empathy. May we use our power well, so we do great things for all God's creatures, all those made in God's image who yearn for an equal place at America's table. If we do all this, may grace and peace be ours in abundance. May we be a beacon and a blessing to the world.
Amen.
May this be so. On page 282, we continue with Elena Lishabeach. You're invited to rise.
Alinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latek gedula yotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, b'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor alenu kechol hamonam. Va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notesh shamayim v'yosed haaretz umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mimal ushkinatu zo Bigov he meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatuv b'torato, v'yadata hayom v'shevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, Bashamayim imal, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od. V'haya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yiyeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
We may take our seats for a moment. In preparation for Kadisha Tome, a reading. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. Then I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoe'er I go, others will punctually come forever and forever. In our congregation, we're in a period of Shloshim for Kenneth Raymond Weiss and Judy Elson. We are also thinking about those who have died at this season in years past on their yahrzeits. We recall Joseph Aisley, Constance Blier Amigo, Edward M. Baumgarten, Julius Dingfelder, Judy Godarov, Harry Goldberg, Albert Goodman, John Heimovix, Rhoda Hochberg, Ida Kalish, Jenny Kamsler, Ann Stolberg King, Frida Koff, Lenora Lapau, May Stoner Leventhal, Severin Bernard Lieblich, Isidore Lifshitz, Fred Lowy, Hilda Marcus, Robert Michelson, Kate Mickenberg, Leslie Phillips, Thomas Radcliffe, Janet Rosenblatt, Anne Rubin, Morton Mickey Schiff, Ethel Sherman, Rose Schiffke, Sheldon Sloan, Mendel Soloveichik, Louis Stein, Mildred F. Trentz, Muriel T. Wack, Barry Watzman, Eli Meyer-Wolf. I apologize for any mispronounced names. If the name of your loved one was read, please rise. We as a congregation stand together. Page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayed d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lomei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shemei d'kudusha. Brichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huya asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories bring you blessings. Let us take our seats as we move into our closing song this evening, which is Ein Kelohenu, one of those that harkens back to perhaps a different time. But as we were mentioning, when does tradition start, right? This song does not go back to Sinai, though we think it does, right? We're like, no, that's the only song we can close with. Me, Sinai, right? Moses sang it. True or not, we're going to sing it. So, Ein Kelohenu, I did not put the page number down. So, where is this page?
Page 322.
Awesome. Page 322. Thank you for that. Ein Kelohenu.
Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
So I want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. A special thank you to the Sands family for providing our oneg this evening. More excitement from that. So I believe there are some cookies and other delicious goodies. So you're welcome to turn around and join us in our social hall for that. If you're in person, if you are joining us online, I hope you can go into your kitchen and grab a bite of cookie of your own. Welcome and a wonderful Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.